to the British Esports Student Champs Cup Grand Finals. Apex Legends is the very last week. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm Waxen, joined by Bigfoot, bringing you the final Clash of the Titans, who will be crowned as the first Apex Legends Student Champs champion.
I really don't have the answer to that question, mate, and we will find out in 3 short games of Apex Legends. But where I thought there's been points during this league where I thought I could have made predictions, but right now it's anyone's game, mate. We've got 2 of the top 5 teams with 0 points from after last week. So it just goes to show how chaotic this tournament's been, and how it really can be anyone's game tonight. Maybe apart from those people who are unfortunately sat on 0 points right now.
Yeah, it's completely unbelievable just to think about the process that we've taken to get to this point where we thought we have 2 solid favorites, and actually they've kind of disappointed us in the first week of the Grand Finals, as we can take a look at the full standings after the first week of 3 games of the Grand Finals. We got HSDC, Storm, Apex, Bigfoot, after what can only be described as the best back-to-back weeks we've seen in Student Champs all season long.
Yeah, they did really, really good. Entering into the finals with a massive, massive explosion there. Leading by 14 points isn't actually as strong a lead as it might seem. That is just one game and they could drop down. So, as with all Battle Royales and especially Apex leagues, consistency is absolutely key. And it's been a little bit sad to see some of these teams that did end the group stage with something like 244 points or even 192 points sitting there after the first week of the finals with not a single point. Really, really unexpected turn of events there. We've got Betty Bears in 3rd place of the group stage, Guild Gen Z in 2nd place, HSDC Storm in 4th place of the group stage. So some of the top 5 have still managed to make it into the top 5 of the finals. So they're the teams that are showing consistency. So those are the teams that I would edge towards having some sort of advantage in this final day here, because like I said, some of the teams have really started to fall apart entering into the finals. We don't know what happened. It might have been the pressure. We really don't know, but it's been so insane to see all these teams rise and fall. But right now, and in these finals, we will find out which is the final team to rise above all else.
I am so excited to see the teams that can do just that, but we're going to look at the teams that are trailing behind and still have a dream, and that dream has, well, it kind of needed to start last week, my friend, as we're looking at some. Let's start from the bottom. We got the Derby Diamonds, I think a team that was, I believe, in 12th or 14. It was, they barely
12.
qualified.
Yeah, 12.
But above them, we got the Coventry Crosshairs A and the Confetti Arrows, which are 2 of the teams you already talked about, Bigfoot.
It's insane. Did not expect this.
2 of the big heavy hitters, 2 of the top 5 favorites going to the grand final. And it's not that they're underperforming or they don't find themselves in that top 5. It's that they have scored 0 points in 3 games. This is unheard of for teams of this caliber. And I gotta ask you, Bigfoot, let's say they turn it around. Let's say they play at the level that we knew of them in the group stage. Is there even a 1% chance one of these 2 teams can still win this tournament?
Absolutely not, unfortunately. I really don't think there's anything they can do. You'd have to have the rest of this entire finals perform badly, and for them to come first with lots of kills in every single match. And I don't even think there's 0.1% chance of that coming through.
I mean, I would love to be proven wrong, but yeah, obviously there's a lot of other teams that find themselves at 7, 11, 14 points, and of course 44 points trailing behind the lead. You will need to pull every single stop that you have in your bag if you want to get over the finish line. But if you're the HSDC Storm Apex, right, you mentioned this, Bigfoot, 14 points versus the 2nd place is not that big of a lead, but they have been this outstanding beacon of light time and time again, and I keep bringing this one back. They don't win that many matches, but they always find themselves in that top 2, top 5, even to top 6. They get so many placement points and obviously eliminations along the way, which makes them the favorite going into today.
Yeah, they tend to get like a squad wipe or 2 most games. So that's the consistency we're talking about, that can really, really add together in these multiple matches. You know, it's not best of 1, it's not best of 5, it's best of 6 for the finals. It's how many games add up to the final points, and then before that we had the group stages, which was 6 weeks. It was 18 games. And they are definitely one of the teams that throughout all those 18 games showed consistent behavior, consistent kill counts. Not, they do it consistently in the top 3, but they were consistently in the top 10 with a squad wipe or 2, which is about all it really takes.
Yeah, and I have to say, this is gonna be crucial for the future careers of these players, right? Winning this tournament, the inaugural Student Champ Cup for Apex Legends, is gonna be something that's gonna be in the history books, right? Years down the line, when we're gonna look back at who is winning this Apex Legends Cup for British esports, we will see, oh, that squad, that trio was the very first one. But with that being said, let's talk about some other Titans and another Confetti Arrows who are kind of struggling a little bit. But let's talk about, of course, who we thought would be the favorites from the get-go and did manage to get a victory royale last time. Gil Gen Z. Let's talk about them, Bigfoot, before we give our audience the news that just came through.
Well, you were just talking about careers, and as far as I know, and I would happy to be correct, and I apologise that may not have heard about some of these other players, but as far as I know, Gil Gen Z are the only team that are already playing professionally. They've signed a contract, they're competing for LGS, they're trying to work their way in there, so their careers have already started in essence, and of course, if they can start their careers with dominating the UK Collegiate Apex League, that is a very good start.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. And Bigfoot, I'm going to give you the pleasure to tell everybody at home what news we got from our producer in regards to Game 6 today.
I think I might have not heard that name.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to break the news. So Map 6, which is going to be the final game of the day, it will be double points.
Oh my god, no, I didn't hear that. That's insane. Is that a British esports unique spin on rules?
No, I
haven't heard of that before.
It's definitely going to actually throw a spanner in the works, and let's see if we have any teams going to mount the absolute comeback of the century in that final game. So that's very exciting. That's got me really pumped. I cannot wait. Actually, now let's just get going with this game number 1 so we get closer to that double point Game 6. As ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The final that we've been waiting for is only moments away from us.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
Are we going?
Only one team missing. So this is going to be a very, very full lobby. Unfortunately, one team hasn't managed to connect, but this is a jam-packed lobby. Sometimes we might have duos coming in, but this time there's one team with duos, but generally everyone's managed to make it to these grand finals. So welcome everybody and good luck.
Good luck indeed. I'm looking at this comps and I love what I'm seeing. Lots of Bloodhound. I think we saw considerable amounts of Bangalore, and it's good to see the teams actually going back to something more stable than what we had in that first week of Grand Final Bigfoot, where a lot of teams were going for some pretty wacky stuff here and there.
Yeah, it seems like we're edging more and more towards like a tier 1 meta with every single week as it comes to the crunch. People are starting to play those sort of agents that you're more likely to see in ALGS. That we did just that whoever that team was on was Octane Crypto Rampart, which is what I'm trying to say. People are sticking close to meta. We do have one or two teams maybe still sticking quite far away from it, so I'm going to keep an eye on some of these squads, see if they can get into the top 5 with these slightly alternative compositions. Definitely possible, of course, and not so many super hot drops this week either, so maybe people are avoiding each other somewhat as they start to land this week, trying to play it safe. Of course, this is the third last map of the entire tournament. No one wants to die on drop.
No one wants to die on drop. Nobody wants to die at all. But I'm actually so excited. I'm going to keep trying my best to forget about the final game of the day and the double points, as every team still... Well, this is going to give me even more time to distract myself from that game 3 and talk a bit about, again, more this game number 1. Obviously, the teams are aware of the importance of that final game of the day, but at the same time, you can't just rest on your laurels and try to collect all the points in the last game, right, Bigfoot? So you got to come in hot and do your best to actually convert as many points as possible for this game number 1 and game number 2, especially if you're finding yourself in the bottom half of the leaderboard currently.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible to close the gap and be on top of this entire league just in these 2 games, but that third game is definitely a curveball. Anything can happen off the back of that. I'm trying to just think about the amount of points some teams have managed to gain. I know the record's about 30 points in one game, so you could shoot forward. If you had as good a game as we've seen in this entire league, you could shoot forward 60 points.
My goodness, I mean, that would be absolutely incredible. And you talked about, quite hard to mounting a comeback if you are one of the teams on 0 currently, but it's still a possibility, right? In Apex, everything is possible, especially when it comes to student champs. We see teams that are consistently good and some teams that are very inconsistent but have moments of brilliancy. So if we get to see that now, it's going to be very, very interesting. But you touched on the drops, right? No hot drops, or very few hot drops we saw before going into the remake. So would you like to break down for us what would your approach be towards rotations in this first game of the day?
Well, I'd like to probably land in the center with my team just to gauge it out and to stay have good rotational capability for the coming circles. But I think what we saw on that map was quite a lot of edge play. But that's maybe even more the reason to land in the center if you had that information, which of course the players don't have the information of where everyone just dropped. But yeah, if a lot of teams are playing the edge and you get in the zone and get your loot together and get set up, especially if you do have a decent controller with you, then yeah, it could be a good shout. So we'll see where people drop again, see if there's actually maybe any switch ups to these compositions, but I think it will probably mostly stay the same. Does look like Gil Gen Z are one of the teams still rocking Crypto. They did whip Crypto out last week, whipping Crypto out again. Maybe going for that sort of survivability with the drone and the banners, trying to get them back in. We did see we did just disconnect from a team dropping a big mod alone. That's where the camera was just there. But let's go. Let's run it back. Let's go again. Hopefully no players will disconnect this time and we'll be able to get straight back into the action. Definitely keep an eye out on the map again, seeing if there might be a bit of a difference to the last game that did get cancelled. Maybe there'll be another hot drop, but realistically, what I would say from that map drop we saw last time was that players were avoiding each other. They were using their sight, looking around who was dropping where, and trying to land slightly safe and have a little bit more time to get their loot together. But Thermal Station. So there is actually 3 teams at Thermal already. So this has changed quite a lot. We just had completely safe drops, and now we've got a trio on one POI.
And we've got the crosshairs there. I can see Cry on the map right now. He's one of them playing alongside, I believe the Colonel Cyphers are there, and maybe Wolfpack Orange. So it's quite a contested one. We see someone taking damage already before getting to see the POV as they're trading bullets. And we're going to take a look, and here comes the pain on the Bangalore.
There was also 2 other squads dropping with Gil Gen Z, so keep your eyes on the kill feed. I will be doing the same, because that is 3 teams in 2 different POIs having quite a hot drop, and one of our top teams is actually in one of these hot drops right now. So if we don't get to see the fights, I will try and keep you updated if any of them do get knocked down in the kill feed, but so far nothing in the kill feed. Players are just trying to get their loot together. There is a fight going on right here and right now. And
the door.
Oh, my days, L-Star is such a good drop weapon, getting some good early damage there, saying no, you cannot enter and fight just yet, but Kaiser does need to get some batteries in.
Yeah, Kai's not running the Horizon and Cry on the Bangalore, but they are kind of sandwiched in this little hut over here right now. Kai's going to throw in a bit of piece of utility, going to try to swing, diving a problem, and nice repositioning, just going to disengage, but Doke is getting a lot of damage, tagged from the bottom, but left, right, center, trying to rotate around the rope, and they will get away, but they do need to wait for Doke to pop the shield.
Yeah, really, really good to have that Horizon in POIs like this, where you can take that high ground with the tactical. The excellent use of that, buying themselves some time to get their batteries in, and also buying the high ground. Westwood is knocked down, and it does look like Kame is trying to make a retreat. Probably going to go try and craft that banner and just get the hell out of here. They don't want any of that smoke. Coventry Crosshairs having a good start, and it's going to have to keep on moving up if they're going to restore their points in this league table.
I believe we're currently watching the CRC Inferno, one of the teams that was doing very well in the last couple of weeks of the group stage to qualify, but didn't impress us that much last week. And now obviously still struggling to recover Westwood's banner as we move on. Cry is having a hell of a duel right now, and he's going to fall. Unbelievable. Corey is going to be jumped on from Doke, and Kaisa's going to die somewhere as well. No, Kaisa's still alive, but now it's going to be Doke 1 versus 2. A couple of players are knocked, and Kaisa come on top of this duel 1 versus 1, and Kaisa's going to do it for the Crosshairs.
So close there. Cry and Kaiser will get rezzed here. Very, very good gunplay. There's actually plenty of time here. No one's going to third party. The other squad in the area has already retreated. So Comedy Crosshairs, yeah, they've got their first squad wipe on the board. It's a bit of a mountain to climb, but if this is consistent throughout the rest of this game, the second game, and the double points final, we might see some insane comeback from the bottom of this leaderboard. I said it was below 0.1% chance, so if it happens, I will be very, very impressed, and I will eat my words, because in hindsight, it was 100% chance.
I mean, very impressive. This is the first points that the Crosshairs get on the board in the 4 games they've had in this grand final thus far. As we now move across. Maybe not expecting someone to be hiding over there, but okay. Phoenix Dragon's just gonna run away.
Yeah, using the ult just for the simple speed boost, trying to get out of there as well. We did start to see a lot more retreating last week, and this might only increase this week. People were retreating away from fights more often than they did in the group stages last week, trying to get into those final circles. Cambria, I think they got a couple dinks in, but they're just going to calm down for a second. Looks like they've got their blue shields in. They seem to have half-decent loot together. They could still do with a couple of attachments, at least on that R301 and, yeah, on this car too, so... Not desperate to get into any major fights just yet. Even setting up camp with... poison bags, but it's going to go on the hunt soon enough, I do expect, because kills is the name of the game here. You cannot enter into these top echelons of a leaderboard without racking up the kills as well as the placement points.
Would you say that you would prefer to see the team slightly more aggressive early on right now, as we actually see Freshy throwing her utility and blowing jobs out of the water, or try to go towards the late game when the zones are narrower and maybe try to join a third party, or actually a third party, a squad fight, and try to get some elimination points that way?
For me, the best tactic is to play safe and go aggressive where possible. Oh, it does look like H600D just got out of there alive, maybe getting chased down, but hoping time to get this Phoenix kit in. But yeah, I think the pursuit is coming. They know that they're low. They know H600 is going to be desperately healing, and in this 1v3 situation, I'm not sure if there's much H600 can do. But yeah, back to what I was saying, yes, I think the best thing is to try and play safe, but if you see an opportunity for aggression to get those points on the board, take it.
The Kai Cobra Spitters B squad in Terp right now doing a lot of good jobs. Spots another opponent, gonna throw in a bit of smoke, and now we're gonna keep on pursuing. And what a nice game sense from the Caustic player. And it's is that everybody? I think that's a full squad, right? Yeah.
Yeah, was that? So yep. I think I didn't see H600 in the kill feed, so maybe H600 got away with a distraction that his other squad provided. May have missed something, but that is very lucky if that is what happened. Of course, Kai Cobra Spit is now onto the purple shields. Very, very comfortable position moving forward. HSDC here on the white shields. They haven't had a chance to fight. They've barely even had a chance to get Evo harvested, but looking at that, they've got some Evo harvested just there, up to the blue shields just in time, because it does look like they're about to get into a fight.
Playing very slow now. We move across to, I believe, the CCSW Sandstorm, a team that's been doing very, very well. A Barrel Basher, of course, one of our favorite names, one of my personal favorite names, I believe, nicknames in this whole tournament. I'm quite surprised. We haven't seen that much. I think you mentioned Gil Gen Z. They were on a hot drop. I don't think we've seen them in the kill feed either, so they probably just managed to rotate without getting too much contact.
Yeah, if I landed with 2 other squads here and there wasn't like an easy route. Yeah, see, here we have Gil Gen Z in the bottom. They've got a team right above them. And we also have CC Warriors coming in as well, it looks like. So it's going to be a little bit of a hot area, but CC Warriors, another team that are only on the white shields. Kind of befuddles me how you can get this far through the game without getting any evil harvested, be it through fighting, all the other variety of ways you can harvest that these days. And Hawkeye does just shoot up to blue shields, but getting into a fight now, these white shields might be a bit of a handicap.
He just got a kill into Shimmery, though.
Yeah,
it's a knock-on for not a full kill, of course, but now they're trying to go for more. We have Ben, this time repositioning, jumping it around, but no, Omar and Hawkeye gonna confirm the splendid kill.
17 squads left with 50 players. Not too much bloodshed so far, so moving into these final zones, we're going to see a lot of chaos and a lot of fighting. LX Wiki here, just is that maybe no batteries to speak of, just on the white health. Very precarious situation to be in. Gonna try and rat their way through. A little bit higher than 16th place, but it's going to be difficult without any heals and also surrounded by squads.
Squads. Definitely.
And yeah, getting that healing just in time because the zone is closing in. You don't want low health when that zone catches up with you. And there's a little bit of space just to move forward now into the zone. HSDC looking pretty comfortable. Now starting to engage with the team that was on the bridge. And Guild Gen Z, very nearby, but still haven't seen too much action from them. A little bit further down the hill, a team that have said that they expect to take the victory on Twitter. And like I said, one of the first teams to start their professional careers. We do expect big things from them, but so far it does look like Guild Gen Z have been playing it somewhat quiet.
Yeah, truly, they don't want to get punished as they have been caught off guard quite a few times last week, as we have a very easy rotate coming in from Apollo and the rest of the HSTC squad. I was expecting maybe there's someone to spot him in here as we have a bit of an action. It's Team 7, it's Omar, gonna try to keep the high ground alongside his team. The CCW Warrior is gonna jump in, it's Ben, gonna get the kill onto Wiki.
Yeah, I don't think Wiki managed to find any heals before getting found. Omar takes a big mouthful of bullets there, just down at the white health, but luckily the other two players in the team are there to try and hold these aggressors back, but no, it won't be enough. Omar does go down. Ben onto the white health as well, shields cracked, gonna try and hold them back with a spray. Connects a couple of bullets, but it's not enough. Omar is gone. Banner is in hand though, there is the possibility of a revive. Throwing some grenades out, I think it might be time to run away.
Yeah, you gotta get back your Catalyst, obviously, especially if you want to play for the late game. We've seen how strong Catalyst has been this entire season, despite a few patch changes. Some of the teams here have loved playing against behind those walls in the late game. But yeah, Hawkeye needs to kind of just get next to Ben and get out of this. They're trying to actually spot opponents. They're gonna get a bit more damage, and that's gonna be a very slow rotate. The bullets are flying in from it's RWD. And Giuseppe with clips, and they're chasing. They do not want to let them go. They get the knock and the kill. It's Hawkeye falling, and I believe we only have the Wraith player last alive from that trio.
Yeah, Hull Raisers are hungry. Look at that push, and maybe they did see that mobile respawn beacon come down and wanted to stop it at all costs. And they managed to. They managed to scare them off. Giuseppe's onto the red armor. Really, really comfortable moving forward at these later zones. Pretty good positioning here with the high ground. CCW, we've got another rat in the lobby. Ben there just trying to play this one out. Last rat we saw was when there were 16 squads left. Now there's 15. Is still a long way to go if you want to rat your way into the top 10. It's going to be very, very difficult. This zone is getting smaller and smaller, and with 15 squads in it, there isn't going to be much space to hide.
Yeah, especially I believe Ben is actually very close to the edge of the zone, so we'll need to find his way into at least closer center. Maybe we'll opt to follow the Hull Raisers 8 squad as we now move on. It's back to Kai Cobra Spitters, and we have them with Interpiv. Red Shield, double purple for Quaintinus and Wraith Zulu, so they're also looking very healthy going for this late game.
Yeah, Interp is actually our kill leader right now. 4 kills is all it takes right now to be the kill leader, and that is how Interp has managed to gather that red shield together. On the edge of zone here, set up with some good gas here to protect any pushes up against the doors, but right on the edge of the zone, chances are it will move away from them in the next rotation, which is coming in 17 seconds. But right now they are looking good. They've got a good amount of kills. No, many thanks to Interp's kill leader position there. HSDC look like they've got a reasonably good position on the high ground as well, but I think they're just out of zone. We'll have to see where this closes in on. Sandstorm as well on the edge. Barlow Basher, low shield, going to heal up, move back in. There's great potential for a lot of bloodshed and maybe even losing a couple of teams in this area from the lobby in the next few minutes.
Yeah, I think it's about time we hit that moment in time, but if you look at the crosshairs, they don't want to be the team that's losing their lives again, as they still try to keep themselves into this game. But look at the high ground position being held by the Celts. Very, very interesting. Easy note, sorry, no fear. But they are going to be trying to shoot a nice piece of utility flying in across. Just trying to separate every single close quarters. Sorry. But yeah, the CVC Celts, we haven't seen that much of them in a long time. I believe DJD actually was a solo for a couple of years.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think they're a team that's had a couple games where they haven't managed to connect properly, and they did enter into the finals just by the skin of their teeth in 20th position. I think they're a little bit further forward now. Just double check exactly where they're standing.
At 13th place.
Yeah, so they managed to make their way quite far forward from 20th. But it's partly to do with the amount of teams that are behind them with barely any points. But yeah, some nice shots there. R301 connecting very well from that long distance. Good little taps there. Easy way to control the recoil on these ARs if you're going for really long range is just to click the taps instead of holding it down. And it doesn't quite get quite out of control as if you just full on spray.
We see a Watson, Jesse Boots on the Watson for the confetti arrows. I actually didn't even notice. I know we looked at them earlier. But yeah, interesting comp. I like the Watson, especially again, similarly if you want to play this close quarters positions in the mid to late game as they currently are. But look at this rotate. Oh my goodness. Aston, Refrain, and Kappa just completely on the edge of the mountain. And Ben, the solo rat, is actually on their tail, trying to stay alive.
If the zone eats him for a few seconds, he's gone though. And I think Aston might have spied Ben. Let's see. Yeah, Kappa has. They know Ben's around. They know the rat's in town, and they're trying to do some pest control. But realistically, what Gil Gen Z's plan here has actually been is just to get the ideal position in zone. There we go. They spy Ben, and Ben goes. And that might be Gil Gen Z's first kill there. I know it's Aston's first kill, but with 10 squads left in the lobby, it's more important to be staying alive right now than getting kills. But of course, those kills do come in extremely important as well. So a little bit of a start here for Gil Gen Z. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the zone is going to keep pulling towards them yet. But no, it does look like it. So they've got a really good position here. We're going to have to see if they can make the most of this. They're going to start trying to get this damage in because they do need to get up to those purple shields. And they've got the high ground, they've got the positioning, they've got the loot, and all these other teams are going to be fighting each other. They've got such a comfortable position. Look at those 4 squads down there. They've all got to deal with each other. And there's H600. We've got another rat. The pest controllers might want to find H600 as well. But in the south, absolute chaos. Really comfortable position for Gil Gen Z here, just to let these other squads fight it out and pick apart the pieces at the end.
Interesting. The first time I believe we see Refrain on the cow stick for across the 7 weeks we've had thus far. So maybe just a map preference, or just decided to change something up after the meta has evolved a bit more. And speaking of Refrain, he's actually getting shot back from the low ground. And yeah, they want to get back up. Well, they want to get up to the purple shield. Oh my goodness! That piece of utility was the most impressive grenade I believe I've ever seen in Apex.
Wow. I mean, I've seen clips online, but it's the best thing I've seen live so far in this league. That was about 200-300 damage, but yeah, Aston is down, and the zone is pushing them forward. A lot of these squads that are in the chaotic area have spied out where Gil Gen Z are and are picking them apart a little bit. Oh my days. It looks like Cap has been finished.
And look at HSDC Storm Apex again. They are, look at double purple. They've got 4 kills, 6 kills. I don't even know how many teams they've killed so far, but they're doing very well again. Meanwhile, Edge 600D just chilling, but Sabotage very close to him. Okay, Refrain will just fall in front of him. Do we want to get the smoke there? It doesn't seem to be the case. H6000 just wants to get as many placement points as possible as a rat. So we go move back to Apollo, pops the ultimate, wants to find a couple of kills.
And Gil Gen Z are out. So are Coventry Crosshairs. They're gone. And already CABC Celts are gone as well. That's 3 teams. Make it 4 because we've also just lost CCSW Sandstorm. So many teams dropped in such a short amount of time. HSDC getting quite a lot of those kills. And Team 12 as well. Another team eliminated. We've got Derby Diamonds out. 5 squads left. But Apollo's been knocked. HSDC Storm looks so good. With Apollo dropped, they're in a very tricky situation. They've been detected by a scan as well. Let's see if this nade can do as much as what we saw from Gil Gen Z. good spray is going to hold them back further. Oh, what a shot with the Mastiff. Absolutely clutch, and they are going to get the res into Apollo. A nade could ruin everything here for HSDC, but it does look like they've got enough time.
Cambria A. Also looking very, very healthy. Owen, Kyle, and Faded. They spot the opponents. They're very patient. They don't just want to shoot. They're actually waiting. That's very respectable. And now they're going to try to wait for the opponents to run into the crosshair on the right side of the rock. They're actually shooting someone. I think that might have been the solo. Potentially H6000. Yeah, it was H6000 completely taken out. The Rat managed to get into the top 4. Still a very impressive performance from him for his side. And now, oh my goodness, the control on the R99 is absolutely impeccable. And 2 squads left. Who is going to come out on top? We've got Kyle jumping in on top, getting the knock kills over, and they're trying to get the victory, and they will succeed.
Oh my days. How fast did that go from 14 teams to just Cambria standing in the space of just minutes? Absolute chaos. So hard for some of these teams to deal with. Guild Gen Z just picked apart one by one. And a little bit open on top of that cliff there. So it was pretty difficult for them, especially once the other team started catching sight of them. But Cambria played it really well, waiting behind that rock that they had for the perfect time to third party those last 2 teams and coming out on top. Going to be pretty happy with that. And I think that might shoot them quite forward in the standings. We'll have to wait a little while before we do get the exact data. But if I just look at where they were standing, they were on 7th place before, so with 18 points. So just add their placement points and they're on to 30. Didn't see exactly how many kills they got, but I mean, right now 30 would be enough to jump
12.
ahead of Guild Gen Z.
They've got 12 kills.
12 kills, right? 24. So they've shot forward. They're not quite in first place. Haven't quite overtaken HSDC Storm Apex just yet. But if they keep this up, consistency is key, as we keep on saying. If they can be consistent in this next game, and especially in that double point last game, then maybe.
Bigfoot, I mean, consistency is key, and that was a great performance. But the key of consistency is still HSDC, who got 3rd place with 12 kills as well. So no matter what lead they had, it will still be pretty big, as the vast majority of kills that game have been collected by the top 3 place teams. So obviously Cambria, HSDC in 4, and none other than Kai Cobra Speeders B, who came 2nd with 10 kills.
Wow. Man, this leaderboard is shaken up a little bit, but not too much. It does seem like the consistency is really starting to get stuck to. We've seen a lot of up and down throughout this season, but yeah, HSDC Storm 3rd place, bunch of kills is going to keep them in 1st place, if my maths is correct. And there's only 2 games left to knock them off that position. So a lot of these teams, some teams might even be banking on this double point final. They might just be saying, no, we just got to get the last game. But if all the teams are saying that, what's going to happen?
I'm also looking at the other teams. Obviously, Confetti Arrows managed to collect some more points themselves, as they came in 5th with 3 elimination points. And of course, the Coventry Crosshairs A came in 9th, but they had, I believe, 5 elimination points. So not too bad of a look for them. But meanwhile, Guild Gen Z, I'm looking down this leaderboard and I don't even see... Okay, they came in 10th with a single kill, which was the kill that they got onto Ben, who was the rat behind them.
Yeah, that's crazy. They are one of the best teams, but simultaneously one of the least consistent teams. So the games that they've came out on top of, with red shields, perfect positioning, tons of kills, they've looked like one of the best teams, and then unfortunately they just don't have the consistency that we see from HSDC Storm, for example, and this is why HSDC Storm are sitting so comfortably at the top of the leaderboard right now in these finals.
I'm still waiting for confirmation to get the updated leaderboard, but I can tell you a bit of another surprise that I have seen. The BD Bears, which have been one of our standout teams in consistency, because again, we just gotta call it the big C, right? Consistency is the big C because we keep talking about it. They managed to get 3 kills that game, but sadly came in 15th, so elimination points will not be going their way, and that means that obviously they will be looking pretty dire as soon as we get this updated leaderboard for game 1. And okay, if you have 2 more games, but the second game that we have, the 3rd of the day, is double points, do you consider that as you have 3 more games left to play? What's your mentality going to that one? Because obviously, Bigfoot, this is not something that we, I guess, ever see in competitive Apex.
say you consider it, you got 2 more games, but one of them is just ridiculously important.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see exactly where the numbers are standing after the second game. But like I said, there is up to about 60 points available. Like if maybe let's just say more realistically 50. There's more realistically 50. See, 12 kills, first place, like we just saw there, would amount you 24 points, doubled 48. So we're talking about quite a lot of points that. If we just look at the leaderboard where it was before that game, 48 points could shoot like 12th or 13th place forward to first.
Wow.
So we might be in a similar situation coming into the last game where 10th, 11th place could actually shoot forward to first place within one amazing game.
I would say it's quite safe to say that we're still going to have HSDC Storm Apex in first after another consistent performance. But imagine the storyline for them. They haven't won a game last week at all, right? They just came in second twice and third once, I think. So now they came in third again. And then let's see, they keep going with this form. They get fourth next game, or top 5 again. And that means they will have consistently been in first throughout both weeks of the grand finals. And then in the last game, someone comes in, drops a 20-kill bomb, and gets first place, and then they get dethroned. How would that feel mentally for you as a player?
It would be disappointing, for sure. But that's if I was the player. But if I was the bookmakers, I know who I would not be paying out much for bets on. Yeah, I would have the odds on HSDC Storm for sure because, that's what bookmakers look at is consistency and track records, and they have it.
Obviously, you cannot be betting on collegiate UK games of Apex Legends. It's hypothetical. Don't jump to conclusions, everybody in the chat. Okay, Bigfoot was just making a great analogy, and I think it's a great point. For example, I was just checking today what the odds are, right? Odds is something that we often talk about, and I prefer odds because I'm a simple man, more in a percentage-based odds, right? I'm going to say HSDC Storm currently have about the 20-30% odds out of 20 teams to actually win the National Apex Legends or Inaugural Cup. That is 30% is maybe not a lot normally in a 1 versus 1 matchup, right? You have a team has 30 and the other one 70, you're doing really bad. But out of a pool of 20 teams, if you have 20 to 30%, it's absolutely massive. But what do you think? Is that a fair assessment on my part, Bigfoot?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, like I said, if I was proverbial bookmakers of cliche for sports, which will never exist, that they would be the team that would have the highest odds. And if you take 20 teams out of the 100, that's 5. Without knowing anyone's abilities, it's a 5% chance each. So 30% is a 6 times chance of that, and I think that's probably about right. They'd probably, very, very high percentage chance of coming through. But we are about to enter into this next lobby, and we'll see if this consistency can keep going.
Let's see if they can replicate back-to-back maps of getting into top 3 and top 5s and the second game of the week. But I gotta ask you, what was your favorite comp that we saw? Like, did you see anything special that kind of impressed you and you're like, oh wow, I really liked how they used that particular one? Or maybe something that you don't want to see again going into the second game of this map?
Well, I just think meta is key in this position. So yeah, I mean, we haven't had the time to fully break down the compositions, but if I just look at the leaderboard right now, we have first place, complete meta comp, Caustic, Bloodhound, Bangalore.
Yeah.
Right? Second place, almost meta comp, Lifeline, Bloodhound, Caustic. Fourth place, a little bit out there, Mad Maggie, Bloodhound, and Gibby. So they actually got 12 kills. So that's, slightly off meta comp, still accruing 12 kills. Fourth place, we got Valkyrie, Loba, and Bloodhound. So yeah, we're stepping out of meta a little bit here, but first place is the meta comp. One of the true meta comps right now did take first place. So when the stakes are this high, I do think meta does come in pretty clutch. And I would say that before the games, and I'll probably say it at the end. It does look like, we'll see what happens in this match, of course, but it does look like meta does give you that extra knee up in this highly competitive lobby that we're in. Second last game of the British Esports Finals. We think we know how it's going to end, but still anything can happen. Let's get into it.
the two
There is
teams.
actually Barlow Basher was already sending shots off, so there is one hot drop. But generally, the rest of the map does look like people do have time and space to loot up. But Barlow Basher yet sent those shots off early and has now been taking shots and is down completely. Finished off as well. Giuseppe's finished off. And there is actually no support character on this comp, so they're going to have to try and grab that banner if possible. Just see what happens here. They're getting the mods out. But yeah, Barlow Bash are very, very far away from the other two players of Sandstorm, and it's going to be a very, very difficult push to go get that banner in, but I can't actually see it happening.
Yeah, they definitely need to get their player back in because Barlow Basher, like we said, has been doing a lot of great work, especially on the Bangalore. You need to have those smokes for position. But look at, here comes the JP tossing utility across from this rooftop on to the big warehouse. Not quite connecting, but it's they really want to get this tags onto Loopy, Green, and Cloudburst, but not coming on top of that exchange as they have to just completely disengage early on.
Yeah, looks like they're running for their lives right now. Havoc in hand, the only gun in hand. And yeah, we do have a pursuit coming in a second. I mean, realistically, if they kept pushing and they kept on chasing CRC Inferno, they might have been able to wipe them, but they took it slowly, you know, prioritizing getting their loot together for now. And they got a little bit of damage in. And of course, CRC Inferno will make it out. For now.
Energy ammo here.
Not losing anyone else. Not losing anyone. The best thing, but we're gonna jump straight in Giuseppe. The Hellraisers A. Again, they did a pretty good early mid game last time around. Let's see if this time around they can make it to the very last zone and maybe break into the top 5 to get the extra placement points. And I think Giuseppe is actually chasing someone.
Ooh, doesn't quite land any shots there. Does get 11 damage in, but you can see it's red. It's very low. Giuseppe's going to keep on this pursuit fast as possible, trying to catch up. Maybe
So
could have pushed
close.
out that door and got into a bit of a serious confrontation there, but taking it a little bit slower. Trying to get some better positioning in. Elsewhere on the map, we do have a view of Clips running away through that cave. It looks like Sandstorm in a bit of a fight elsewhere on the map, and Giuseppe will get out Mixed Mysteria from Sandstorm. In that view, we see the rest of Sandstorm making it away with their lives over towards Geyser, but there is actually teams in that area too, and to see if they can be caught up with or not. Hellraisers A, hungry, but no. Clips has been taken down as well. And it was actually Phoenix Dragon from Sandstorm, so that is a revenge knock. What can Giuseppe and RWD do to even this situation out?
Yeah, I mean, Clips is still only knocked, have yet to actually complete the kill as the Sandstorm squad just kind of left, and now they will just allow Clips to be maybe brought back in, yeah.
Ultimate's ready.
That's interesting. Yeah, running away. I mean, we're starting to see just more and more retreating. I think if they had the confidence just to push and hold that down, they might have been able to get away with a little bit more. Here are Guild Gen Z getting some knocks in, trying to make their comeback. If they have one good game now and have an amazing game in the final, they still might be able to come out on top. Unfortunately, oh my days, Refrain doesn't quite get the tracking right, misses the first few shots and will be finished off. But I see Westwood has been knocked down by an Arcstar. So there might be time for Aston to get this rev. You can see through the wall there. Both teams are in the same situation with one down. Refrain is getting rezzed. Does look like the opposing down player is also getting rezzed. So we're going to get a bit of a reset here for both teams before they get back into it. Push from Kappa. What can Kappa find?
It's round number 2. I mean, it's Kami as well, but oh, they're gonna just get a pressure on Westwood, who's still somehow not dying from the CRC Inferno squad. Now they're gonna pop in a medkit, and Kami just trying to find some space, but they do not have any other shields remaining, whereas I believe on the side of Guild Gen Z, they had plenty of those still left in the tank. Kami obviously can well, pop it for the team.
Cambria doing pretty good as well. Elsewhere, they have actually wiped out Bede Bears, a team that we did think might have a chance to make it through to first place in this final, but getting wiped out so early in the second game, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Aston does take down Kame with the Peacekeeper. We're moving around the map now. There are fights everywhere. Cloudburst and Loopy One a little bit downhill here from Ghoul, Jesse Boots, and Sabotage. Sabotage making a rotation round, might catch Cloudburst off guard, while Ghoul and Jesse Boots are trying to catch up with Loopy One here. They've avoided the Rolling Thunder. Green Juice TV, very, very low. Probably just been revived there. And don't think there's time to get the reset. But
Jesse Boots just walks in, shoots one in the back. Actually, can you stay alive? You need a bit of help as you're getting pursued. But no, it's gonna be jumping into Jesse's crosshair that takes out both Loopy and Green Juice. My goodness, Jesse. I mean, that wasn't even stealthy. Just completely ran in and killed 2 people.
Yeah, where were these confetti arrows last week, eh? Very, very tricky spot here for CAVC Celts. A lot going on. We actually see so many teams in this little area.
It's Wiki, Splendid, and Shimmery actually trying to not get part of that action. As we see, just saw a team with lots of shields. I believe it was a couple of reds and 1 purple. But look at DJ just seeing how both of these teammates are getting completely shredded from the sky. DJ, I don't even know what the game plan will be for him over there as we move over to the Wolfpack Orange. They're currently in 5th place, by the way.
Yeah, they're having quite a quiet moment, but to be honest, that's what you want. I would rather be them right now than one of these teams surrounded by 3 or 4 other squads. They do have to push through this bottleneck, and they are close to the chaos, but I don't think anyone really knows they're there. Everyone's been so distracted with all the fights that have been happening on the other side of that mountain that they do have the chance to move into zone without being seen. Here is one of the teams that were involved in that chaos just a few moments ago, Loughborough Cottage Lycans, and they have actually moved away from the area where all that was happening. So yeah, it does provide an entrance for the other squad through that bottleneck. 53 seconds down until we end up towards the 3rd zone. As we move around, seeing another team making a nice rotation here. This is a very, very chaotic edge of the zone. I do wonder if there's like a really, really safe area on the opposite side of this circle because so many teams are on this one.
Hey mates, let's go OT.
Back to Wolfpack Orange this time. They are pinging some. I don't think anyone's close by. Let me look at it right now. I think they're just trying to go and hide themselves in a cave, which is going to be a good position as long as obviously it's going to be in the zone, or they're just going to use it to get themselves even further. Quite an interesting rotate from Wolfpack Orange, and I think they're happy to not get any of the action as they haven't had the most successful in the duels. Well, not in the first game of the day.
Yeah, I mean, this tunnel is a good spot for now, but once that zone does start closing in, they will lose it. We've got H600, a rat from last round. Got the rest of the team standing and getting those kills in. Bit of a difference in story for H600 here, who's actually up to red shields before we've even got into the 3rd circle, so really comfortable position.
I mean, we got this team at a top 4 placement as a rat last game. Now we've got both EJ and Jobs alive alongside him, so hopefully they're going to be getting even a better result.
4 kills, actually. H600 is actually kill leader right now with those 4 kills. Bit of a different story here for Guild Gen Z as well. We see them up to purple armor. We see them with a handful of kills as well. This might be their game to start their comeback, but it's going to have to continue into this final match that we see after this with the double points. They must be feeling themselves, though, finally having a proper game. They've had a bit of an up and down in these finals, but yeah, if they can keep this up, they may be able to overtake
Look at
the rest of the
refrain.
squads.
He got caught off. He got caught off guard last game, and that was the beginning of the demise in the last game. But this time around, realizes, you know what? Let's not do the same mistake. I'm getting shot at. My shield's broken. Let me just run away. That's why my agent is so good. We'll join up again with Aston and Kappa, and we'll continue rotating all the way around in this northeast area.
That's one thing we see a lot from Guild Gen Z is positioning, and they kind of had the right idea last round, but the little mountain spot they chose just didn't have anywhere near enough cover, considering those 4 or 5 other squads in the center of the zone. Looking out, DJ D here, not far behind Guild Gen Z, but inside the zone, taking a chance to get some banners even. Can Dizzy Glizzy's banner be picked up as well? I think, yeah, Dizzy Glizzy's banner is outside of this zone bite. So there will be a chance to get both banners and, I mean, hopefully get some revenge against Guild Gen Z, but it's not over yet. There's a little bit of a way to go before there can actually be a respawn possible. Oh,
hello?
No! EJD taken out by Freshie, and that's it. We do see CAVC Celts eliminated.
Was Freshie also ratting?
I don't know where Freshie was. Freshie just came out of the sky. My assumption is that Freshie took a evac tower from somewhere a little bit deeper in zone, possibly.
Now, that was some great camera action from our observers for catching that interaction that we had edge zone. I loved seeing that one. As my goodness, Refrain is on 4 kills and 3 assists already, and only 4 squads have fallen. So doing a lot of the damage in the second game, like you said. Guild Gen Z having a game like we were hoping to see from them more of in this grand final, similarly to the group stage.
This is actually another meta pick that I mentioned a week or two ago that I haven't actually spoke about tonight. But yeah, when you've got Revenant in his ultimate, and then you've also got Conduit using the tactical, you have a heap of armor which is going to be coming so clutch in these close quarters fights. So it does look like Guild Gen Z are going for this sort of aggressive composition moving forward, and it seems to be paying off for them a little bit with the amount of kills that they've managed to accrue. But right now we do see TCS Esports, a team we don't really see or speak about too much, but they have their own kind of consistency going on. You know, they're consistently okay. They're not consistently bad or great, but they seem to be like maintaining that middle ground throughout this lobby, and maybe a team to watch out for in future tournaments.
Meanwhile, Zero, Wrath, Zulu, and Interp just trying to completely obliterate Splendid and his squad. That is the Wolfpack Orange playing edge zone on the low ground, as they somehow managed to get themselves in. Also, the Kai Cobra Spitters next, not too far off, but it's gonna be the Kai Cobra Spitters gonna go in and try to take some of this action. Raid Zulu really wants to connect some shots with his wingman. Hasn't had that much success with the gun. Gonna switch onto the Hemlock, and now
nice,
beautiful connection with this burst weapon.
Oh no, but that little scope out the side of that cover, and Rave Zulu sees 2 more players pushing in hot with very, very full shield and health. So, does actually look like with this high ground they do have a little bit of time. You know, had they been a little bit lower, it could have been a much more precarious situation to be in. But those 2 players pushing in to get the revive onto Master. It will come through. Master does just need to heal up, and yeah. The Ash ultimate will get them the hell out of there. Buying some time, but no, Master didn't heal, so Master has been knocked again.
Very Yoda-like. Master needs to heal up. Master didn't heal, and now Master will fall again as Ultra Guard, with 3 kills, might have just lost his life in the process of protecting his Master and his teammate, of course. Raid Zulu, very aggressive, and now connecting with the Wingman, taking Ultra Guard out and pursuing for more. We see Raid Zulu spots one, switches the gun onto the Hemlock, has to reload and go back, joining with Interpret Zero.
Another really, really good consistent squad. Kai Cobra Spitters finished with 120 points, which is about half of first place, but they did have some really good games and some really good consistency, just not quite of that high top 5 level. So another team to keep an eye on moving forward in the future tournaments if it is the same players, because I do think they can do a lot better than we've seen so far. They've definitely got the ability, but I mean, these lobbies have been so chaotic. I've seen on Twitter teams complaining about these lobbies, how they're quote someone worse than pubs. I saw on Twitter saying it's a bit of a bold statement. I would say this is a lot better than pubs. A little bit closer to meta.
It's a lot better than my pubs.
Yeah, exactly. And people staying alive, especially in this final stage. Okay, the rat can climb. MX Mysteria here. Another rat with no armor to speak of, unfortunately. This wingman is just destroying as Team 5 commentary crosshairs are knocked out. A few moments ago, we did also lose Wolfpack Orange. And as these teams start to get whittled out, we only have 8 remaining. Moving forward into this final zone. Not very long now.
We were
Plenty of red
15 a
shield.
second ago. I don't even know when seven squads just went, and it might have been on the back of some beautiful wingman kills, like you mentioned. The red team did a lot of nice.
That was 9 detected. So you know you're in a bit of a condensed area when you hit that scan and a number that big comes up. It doesn't often go above 10, but that's insane. So yeah, good opportunity to hold this down for a little bit longer if you do have a controller player. You know, it's a lot easier to hold an area with gas traps or walls, but 4 hostiles detected, so that's a little bit better as 5 players have obviously rotated away from this area.
Oh my goodness. Hellraiser's A.
All red.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them at the beginning. They're looking very, very good as Giuseppe takes a lot of damage and actually is getting pursued. We'll have to pop a shield battery, but no. Our WD needs to cover, but in the end, they all get low and everybody needs to disengage if they want to stay alive to get the shields back up. Giuseppe's going to try to make the space for his team, and everybody's shooting left, right, and center. It's Gil Gen Z, it's Stats from Red, it's ATK. Everybody's fighting in this area, and Giuseppe is not actually coming on top of this duel. Red shields or not, 2 of your teammates have fallen. Now Giuseppe alone. Can you connect with the wingman? No, you cannot.
Oh my days, Kappa, new kill leader with 6 kills, I think, but Cambria coming in for the third party. Aston and Kappa might not even be aware that this is about to go down. Aston does actually see something coming in. The players coming in, they've got so many kills, but without the placement, they might not be able to make it to the top of these finals. Refrain, last player standing to kill Gen Z, getting pushed so hard. And Gil Gen Z are knocked out in 7th place. They had the kills, but without the placement, I don't know if they can scrape this through. Oh my days.
We still have the confetti arrows alive. The first good game they've had all of this grand final, and they could convert as the Gil Gen Z squad is out and a lot of the big hitters are out, but Jesse Boots and Sabotage are actually not looking too healthy, and Goal is also getting pushed on. And look at the pressure. Mystic Dark is alone, just fighting between 2 squads. In the end will fall. Jesse Boots taking the top of the crate, actually gonna drop down to shield up, and they have a team just east of them, very, very close.
Trying to get this reset on the armor, etc. Trying to get by an opportunity, trying to get some entry damage to move away from this area. They're right at the edge of zone here. Yes, grenades can't really harm them right now, but guns can as soon as they peek out from behind these boxes. The triple take aiming long distance does get a small bit of damage, a little bit bigger there. And again, does crack some shield, does hit some health. It's still not going to be enough at this distance. It's still 1700 away from hitting red armor, so might not make it to red before getting pushed into the center of this zone. 4 squads remaining, 11 players. And 7 seconds left until they get crushed together.
Wow. Beautiful triple take shot from Jesse Boots there, but we're gonna go back to HSDC Storm Apex. I told you,
Yeah.
Bigfoot. Back to back to back to back games breaking the top 5. Only 1 squad elimination away from being in the top 3 again. This team is unbelievable, and let's see who's going to be the next squad to fall, as this is actually confetti arrows are the furthest away from the building, so they need a bit of a miracle, as Goal will actually going to lose his life. The smokes will get popped. Can we get a res with throwing in a couple barriers, but is it going to be sufficient?
Ooh, I'm not sure when grenades are hitting, and Rolling Thunders is coming out of the sky. 1 minute 28 left until this circle is completely closed. 4 squads remaining, and yeah, 80k Ghoul is gone, will not be revived, but HSDC Storm, the consistency kings, getting the damage in, but Apollo gets dropped. Amphibious and Upriver have lost their armor as well. Upriver trying to get a battery in, but it's going to be... Oh, very hard. No, Upriver does get the battery in, but Amphibious in the middle of the zone. Not a comfortable position to be in.
Jesse just doing a lot of damage, trying to cover for Sabotage, also getting a battery shield in. Gonna pop it as well. And now we need a heal for the Bangalore. It's 2 players alive, still for the confetti arrows. It's 2 for them, 1 for the HSDC Storm. Couple of knocks on the ground. Who is the 3rd squad now?
My days, you see the Gibraltar, you're trying to get some shots in, but he's inside his little bubble. There's not much to be done. The bubble drops. Now's the chance to get the damage in. And Team 4 have been eliminated. Faded. Oh, wow. Wow. They make the comeback from... They had 0 points last week, but they do manage to get a comeback in. Confetti Arrows with a victory in this second game, the second last game as well, before we move forward to the double points final.
Unbelievable. They were down to 0 points in the end. They managed to finally get something on the board. Bigfoot, but will it matter, as HSDC Storm Apex got 3rd place again. So they will have a big chunk of those placement points going to their favor yet this time around as well. And I believe we had Cambria in fourth, if I'm not sure. So Confetti Arrows finally with a victory. HSDC Storm still with no victory, but will it matter in the end, as the Confetti Arrows will need to probably try and convert even the double points last game as well to have a chance?
I think they're in 17th position or so they will jump forward a little bit. But until we see the exact scores, it's hard to make any predictions exactly what can happen in this final match. But basically, if you take the third place total points of these finals and you subtract about 50 points, anyone in that area can win with this double points final. We said about 50 points is going to be about the most you're going to gain. If we see something completely crazy, it could be 60. But I think that might have been a one-off game when someone reached 30 points previously.
We just had, unbelievably, Cambria A. I thought they came in fourth. My mistake. They actually came in second with 12 elimination points that game, Bigfoot.
That's huge. HSDC Storm in third place with 5 kills, but so still consistency still going well for them, and placement points going well. But let's have a look at these standings now, really try and crack down on who has a chance to make it through to third place in this final game. HSDC Storm, 89 points. Okay, so let's subtract 50 from that, and we have 39. So let's say anyone in this top 6 has a chance to win. And unfortunately, I do think below this top 6, I think your chances are gone.
Yeah, pretty impossible mountain to climb. With that being said, the Confetti Arrows, they woke up 4 games too late, but breaking into the top 10 for the first time this grand finals. Up there we have the BD Bears, who had 2 back-to-back pretty dire games to start off the second week, despite having a good showing in week number 1. Wolfpack Orange, they're doing pretty solid, good number of eliminations and placements. And Kai Cobra Spitters B, not A, into the 5th place. And then we've got the Lycans, Gilgen Z, and Cambria A in second after that phenomenal performance in the second game with 12 kills.
But of course, we're talking about these top 5 teams, top 6 teams having a chance to make it forward to first place, but that's going to have to rely on HSDC Storm having a bad game, which just doesn't really happen these days.
It hasn't happened at all this grand final. Again, they have been consistently not top 4, not top 5, but top 4, with some of those being second places. Again, they haven't won a game, but do they care about that? I mean, they're looking at the leaderboard, they're like, whoa, we got, 26 points? We're 36 points ahead of the second team. We are doubling the team in 4th place. We are having the time of our lives. And this is where I'm going to ask you, Bigfoot, is there any probability we get one of these teams that want to mount this, I guess, resurgence in the final game, just hot dropping on top of HSDC Storm and trying to punish them?
If anyone knows HSDC Storm's drop spot and knows where they're going to land, then yes, go for it. I would. You haven't got much to lose, and like I said, you've only got a chance of overtaking HSDC if they have a bad game, and that might have to be controlled by yourself in this situation, because you can't. We've seen you can't really rely on HSDC Storm having a bad game, because so far in these finals they haven't, and that is why they're sat there with 50 kills on the top of the leaderboard.
It's unbelievable what they're doing in this tournament, and honestly, they came in 4th, they qualified 4th, right? But they have been a team that slipped under our radar so much during the group stage that we were like, oh, well, they just qualified 4th, whatever. Nothing that surprising, other than that one stellar game with punching the teammate in the zone, of course. And I don't think anyone here at Student Champs would have predicted them to not just be a favorite going into the grand final, but actually quite by a long mile. And again, I gotta say this, if it wouldn't be for the double points in this final game, I would have just said, oh, they just won it already, right? But because of that double point aspect, I'm still afraid there could be a potential of someone upsetting them.
Yeah, it is possible. There is the potential for that. I mean, it's going to be a little bit sad for a team that's shown such consistency and sat so comfortably on the top of this leaderboard in the finals, but this is competitive esports, especially in with so many stages to work out who's going to have the highest points. And the organizers of this league have thrown a little bit of a curveball with these double points coming in, and definitely provide some content. And HSDC Storm are kings of that. We saw them punching with the punching of the teammate, etc. as well. And yeah, like you said, they might not have taken a victory, but realistically, all that a victory would add to what they've done so far is 5-6 points and a little bit of extra dopamine. But I don't think there's going to be much that could beat the dopamine rush of coming on top of the entire leaderboard in this 8-week league.
Would you say that for them to be dethroned, they need to fall before the top 5, top 10, top like how early do they need to get slain in this game 3 for them to have no chance in to actually winning it?
Well, I think mathematically they could get knocked out on drop and still win. If you consider if the teams that are hot on their tails have bad games. HSDC Storm could be killed on drop and still win this league if the teams that are hot on their tail have bad games and the teams at the bottom of the league have good games. So that's also possible, and that's what consistency gets you, and it's what getting points on the board early also gets you. So yeah, it's also possible they get knocked out on drop and the second place or third place team have a very good game and do overtake them. So yeah, anything is possible moving forward into this lobby.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Student Champs Apex Legends Cup was a story of 3 tales. First, the domination of Guild Gen Z. Second, the resurgence of the confetti arrows. And now, for the last couple of weeks, it's been the consistency of HSDC Storm Apex Squad. Let's see if this story will finish with them at the top, or if we're going to have an underdog pull up the upset in the double points final game.
The drops are coming out, and it will be interesting to see if, like you said, someone's going to drop hot on top of HSDC. But they've gone back up to trials like they do many times, and no one is anywhere near them. So they're going to be very, very comfortable for loot as they enter the rest of the map. You're probably going to hear some shots from the Cambria drop nearby. There was another team next to Cambria. But yeah, they've got good start at least to this lobby. No one's dropped on them. They've got plenty of space and plenty of time. They've got the opportunity to third party a fight.
Oh, I believe we just saw the Celts with one player knocked down, and that's not a good start to have in your final game of the tournament.
Not at all. We do have Loughborough College Lycans trying to play more off the back of that initial knock. Actually looks like a pursuit. Yep, there's a retreat attempted to come in. But no, another player has dropped. Phoenix after now. Last player standing. It's going to be very, very difficult to get away with their life. Coops and Lloyd very, very down. Doing their best though. Phoenix doing his best, but no. Will be knocked out. And we've also lost Betty Bears, unfortunately.
Wow.
So
the third team coming into the grand final in points based on group stage performance will also be eliminated, and I think they will have officially not even cracked the top 5.
I mean, yeah, a lot of our expectations have been shaken up moving through into these finals, haven't they? Loopy 1 and Deceppi are downed elsewhere on the map. Loopy 1 was actually in the lead down, unfortunately. Finished off with a kick to the face.
New level means I got a new upgrade with me. Got my upgrade.
H6000 had 2 great games, right? First game as a solo, as a rat breaking to top 4. Last game we saw him racking up a lot of kills alongside his trio. But let's see if they can get anything else for us. Green Juice is currently alone. Cloudburst and Loopy have been eliminated. It's the Derby Diamonds that have gotten to this point. And Green Juice, that's pretty good control with the 45. And he might be coming up on top of his goal. He needs to reload, but actually,
go on, mate.
Gonna get the kill onto Clips.
Are we going to see a solo win here? Green Juice going to demolish the lobby one by one? I can't see it happening.
Yes, please.
I would love to see it happening, but that was an excellent start. But unfortunately now just going to get pushed by the rest of the squad. And that will be Green Juice gone. Derby Diamonds fall by the wayside and are out of the lobby. 15 squads left. A lot of a much quicker start to this lobby than we've seen in a couple of the other games.
Some teams realizing that mathematically it's a very hard path for them to go up to if they want to get into this top 5 position. If you're down in the bottom 5 of this top 20, you can't really have any more high expectations. You might as well try to go for some Hail Mary plays, and some of them, of course, will get punished. But the Lycans, they are in a really, really good position currently, so they do not want to commit any mistakes, as they are one of those teams in a top 5, top 6, I believe, that could still make it happen.
Level 1.
Anything is possible moving forward. Maybe a little bit further forward, we do go over to see Gil Gen Z again. Aston's got a kill. Judging by the quietness of this area, I think the other teammates, the other Gil Gen Z players might have got kills as well. They've got a scan on the ring. They know that it's heading towards Geyser area, and they only got to go a little bit further north to get into it. Looking through the fire sale.
Ooh, Refrain, Aston, and Kappa. Like I said, one of the squads that first 2 weeks, Bigfoot, we wanted to put all our eggs in their basket, saying they're going to take this all the way in. Right now, they don't even feel like they've secured the top 3. They really need to fight out in this final game, and the more teams, the more squads that fall, the less opportunity for them to get elimination points will be on the map.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be possible with just replacement points. They could get first place with a couple of kills, and they won't be able to shoot forward. They'll need to get first place with a heap of kills, and the people ahead of them will also have to have bad games. So we'll have to keep our eye on what HSDC Storm are doing on this map. If they get in 20 fights, it'd be great to catch them. But right now, 15 squads remaining. Yeah, we're in the north. HSDC Storm were in the northwest, and with the zone going so far east, they do have a long way to go, but they might also manage to avoid a lot of fights with that positioning.
I gotta ask you, Bigfoot, what if you're in the middle of the tournament right now and you're in the squads, how attentive are you to the actual updated standings, right? Like, do you think the HSDC Storm Apex know how many points they're ahead, and the mathematics, like what top they need to get into, what they need to achieve to just secure this victory?
I think some of these squads will be checking out the stream, checking out the scores where possible, and it will help to know your standings, so you know exactly what you got to do. But equally, it's just really, really hard. We got Gil Gen Z trapped in here, so you get a team that's trying to move forward, but like I said, really, really difficult. Might find yourself surrounded by 2 other squads. And yeah, Guard's gone, but Master and JC Star are still here. Some shots from the doorway there, so there's another squad entering this fight, and you might know what you've got to get, but in the Battle Royale format, anything can happen. They have picked up Ultra Guard's banner, so there is a chance to respawn Ultra Guard, but trying to get over towards that respawn beacon, there is another squad. Trying to get away from that respawn beacon, there is another squad. TCS Esports kind of trapped right now. Going to have to maybe get some kills to get out of this situation. There we have Freshie knocked out. Yep, GCS Freshie is gone. So they've bought themselves a little bit more space, but the other squad is still hot on their tail.
Yeah, they realize they cannot let them escape, and that's why they keep on pursuing as Jesse Star just gets shot. Master below. No more shield best. We just jump back to Sky Cover. Spitters be Zero lower and lower. Gonna die in a second. It's gonna be Rizzo as well. Fallen. Zero manages to pop a shield, still alive as the Interp is trying to do so much work to keep his teammates safe from collecting the knock, but Rizzo will actually get resurrected. Look, nobody's gonna jump in. No, they're not so close, but they're not gonna get in time.
Yeah, and that is the power of the lifeline. If you've got some sort of defensive area, you get that revive off, and you've still got 2 players standing, you can hold back the aggressive squad so much easier. And we see that in action just there as Interp manages to hold back that opposing squad. But Kaiko Spitters B still quite a lot to do, and we are on the kill feed. We do see Cambria getting some good kills. Cambria getting a lot of kills and actually knocking out Kai Cobra Spitters A.
Oh, well, we're following the B squad that has actually showed the better performance both throughout the group stage and in grand finals. They qualified in 13, whereas their A squad was in 16th. Actually 17, sorry. But now they are still the ones with a chance at this top 3, top 5, maybe even a potential first place if they could rack up some more kills.
One hostile detected there for Rave Zulu's going to get out of there, but yeah, probably going to push towards this geyser area, which is getting extremely busy. And Ghoul Last player standing for confetti arrows, but is managing to respawn the squad.
They
In a
found
safe enough
themselves.
area, but no. Being pushed, that respawn ship is alerted, whoever that was in the area, that it's time to push. And yet Ghoul's now got to run into the zone and has been knocked out by Cal with the T that is Cambria. Taking down Ghoul.
And now Sabotage might have just sabotaged his own game by trying to spray down the running opponent. It's going to be Jesse Boots. Big boots to fill. Popping some syringes. Can we get back in the zone? The round is closing in, and Jesse Boots might just have to abandon both Ghoul and Sabotage. Doesn't even have what it takes to actually get back in the zone. Hopefully, gotta find some good loot in here. Okay.
I don't think so. You need so many meds to get out of there now. And the zone, yeah, it's too far. It's too far. I think confetti arrows are going to go down inside the zone. Look how busy this area is. Geyser is absolutely chock-a-block. South of Geyser is chock-a-block. And what is between Geyser and the south is a bottleneck. So this is going to get mental as these squads get pushed together by this zone. HSDC, here we have it. They don't look like they've got any kills so far, but they've managed to get their loot together. We've got a gold mag on that Sentinel. Flatline in hand as well. The Sentinel's been amped. And can Apollo find anyone? Now entering into this Geyser area. Opposite is the bottleneck that many, many teams will be coming through very soon.
Jesse Boots is in the zone!
Jesse Boots? How? No way, Jesse. How did you do that? Must have been a... Maybe found a tower or something? But yeah, about to get eaten up by... And gets the medkit in. I don't believe it. How did Jesse push that far out of zones without
Jesse
getting taken out?
Might need to have the performance of his life if he wants to just keep his team in the game for a while longer. Of course, that number one position pretty much impossible for him to get, but we've seen some crazy clutches from solos over the last few weeks, so maybe Jesse wanted to do that once again for his team. Currently just popping syringes in the zone very far away, as Cambria was aware of his positioning.
10 syringes in the bag, though. This is possible.
Oh, they're shooting him!
Yeah, has been spied by Cambria, but how much attention are Cambria going to give Jesse right now? Because they've got bigger fish to fry. They need to get into zone themselves, need to establish a positioning. They can't just spend the rest of this game chasing this rat inside the zone.
How much do you value one elimination kill, right?
Exactly.
Oh, Apollo. Getting the Sentinel to work.
2 hostiles detected, so HSDC do have a reasonably clear area. It will be an ultimate for Apollo pushing in. Big aggression here. HSDC showing the aggression here. Jesse Boots will be finished off by Cambria. But HSDC, oh, they've been held back by the jammers, so they don't get to push into that fight just completely. They can hang around here pretty comfortably. Here we have the bottleneck. Teams are starting to come through that mountaintop bottleneck. Geyser is... I don't think I've ever seen Geyser so busy.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really uncomfortable spot for a lot of teams, but HSDC still managed to cut their losses and disengage, and now they broke into the top 10. Again, we wanted them to kind of fall early to have a bit of a contest when it comes to that number one position, but breaking into top 10 already is not going to be looking good for the teams trying to overtake them, dreaming of overtaking them, even as we have 2 of the Sandstorm players just dropping back in. But look at it, it's Gil Gen Z is still alive, a couple of assists for Kappa, and I believe a few kills for Aston.
They might have one of the best positions in zone, being backed up against this mountain if the zone keeps on coming towards them, because then you only have 180 degrees of your surrounding area to worry about. I think they might have spied a team underneath them in that building, so there's 2 squads taking up that position.
Meanwhile, CRC Inferno and Colonel Cyphers have been eliminated from this tournament. That will be the end of the road for those 2 squads, as well as we're still with the Lycans. Jobs dropped.
Top 8? I mean, it might be that HSDC have already won.
I think so.
If they're in the top 8. Like I said, even if they got knocked out on drop, they could win. So getting into the top 8 with a handful of kills, this might already be over. But of course, we don't know until we see these final score lines exactly what's going to happen. EJCA trying to stop this squad aggressing, but they're just pushing so strong. Cambria with another squad wipe. That does actually put Kyle as the kill leader with six kills.
And I believe Faded, I think, also had 5 kills. So Cambria already, if my eyes didn't deceive me, they might be up onto 11 kills. And actually, it's Refrain with the 3 for Gil Gen Z, not Aston. My mistake. As HSDC Storm will just throw some shots at some opponents in the distance. But look how lonely they are. They are on an island. They are about to get the party poppers going, the champagne. I mean, I don't know, like non-alcoholic champagne. How old are these people?
I think they have a variety of ages, but yeah, if they're of age, I'm not surprised if they'll be drinking some champagne after this match. Purple Shield's looking very, very comfortable. Cambria looking very comfortable as well. Gil Gen Z. So it's actually 3 of our top teams in that top right corner there we see. Yeah, I think Cambria was a team I've been speaking about every now and then, saying that they could have won this whole tournament. They've just had a few bad games. They seem like a really, really good selection of players. I've seen some amazing stuff from them when they play together. I think it was last week I was saying sometimes they split up a little bit too far apart and get picked off one by one. But yeah, as you can see, currently the kill leaders in this top 7. They're definitely a team with the capability, so keep an eye on them should they enter into another tournament. Keep an eye on any team that's managed to make it into this top 10. So yeah, let's hope we get many, many more British esports collegiate Apex leagues moving forward.
This is double points, Bigfoot. I feel like we haven't mentioned that in a hot minute. So every single elimination, every single team you manage to take out, it's going to take you double further than you've ever been taken by taking a squad out. So Aston, Refrain, Kappa, throwing bullets away, now disengaging, popping more shield, playing this very, very safely, as now they find themselves in the top 6, and we know how dangerous Gil Gen Z can be in this late game scenarios.
Especially when they have the right positioning, and that's what they have right now. The zone is moved towards them yet again.
HSDC foils!
Oh,
a point well, Ferbius.
That is a shame, and it's a little bit of an upset, but it might not upset the leaderboard, as Upriver Tree is getting chased down, and I don't think Upriver Tree is going to stand much longer. So HSDC Storm do go out in 6th place, but they might have already won. We never know until we see these final points. The double points might mean a lot moving forward. Gil Gen Z can get a bunch more kills and take this 1st place. They might.
Cambria's getting the kills as well. Owen and Kyle
have smashed it, mate. They've smashed it so well.
How many points are they getting for all of the kills in the lobby, it feels at this point? As Refrain spots an opponent, they have the high ground, they can see them through the window in the building. Obviously, you can't just jump through those windows. This is not a Hercules game from 1993. That is an odd reference, Bigfoot. You're way too young to get that, as Aston is lining up alongside Kappa and Refrain to get some long-range shots with the R3, but no, it's not going to pop it. Just going to play this very patiently.
Good spray down there from Aston. Going to get a bit of damage in, but it's not going to be enough. Going to have to keep firing down there. Oh, almost. But yeah, Refrain will finish off Kyle there. So Cambria have lost a player, but they've knocked down Rafe Zulu as well. But now Owen's dropped for Cambria as well. So there's more players standing for Gil Gen Z than there is for Cambria. Cambria might have got so many kills in this lobby. There's only one of them standing right now, as far as I'm aware. Absolute chaos moving into this final zone. Aston just spraying blind into the smoke there, trying to find something in that poison. More players entering to the rooftop here, pushing forward. And it is Hull Raisers A still standing as well, with the red shields coming in for the fight.
Everybody's out for blood, as we also, I believe, still have the Lycans alive, if I'm not wrong. As we're now following Hull Raisers A, it's actually Clips. He has fallen early, but Giuseppe managed to get him back in the game. Speaking of Giuseppe, he also gets back up. Now the bullets are flying in. Aston and Refrain, Kappa on the edge, and they're going to get the kill on RWD, trying to completely finish the knock, and they will succeed in doing so. Still 3 players alive for Gil Gen Z.
It looks like Gil Gen Z have really locked in this game, but it might be too little too late. Unfortunately, there might be double points right now, but they've got a long way to go to overtake HSBC. Cambria have all been revived. They're standing back up. They've taken knocks, but they've not managed to get back up, and they're still in the fight. Sending the shots out. Kyle knocks Aston. Aston's finished off. Refrain is finished off, and that means Gil Gen Z have been taken out. 3 squads left, one of them being Cambria A. Giuseppe, we do have a rat in the final circle, so it's a 3v3v1. Maybe Giuseppe can upset this lobby. We'll have to see. But we have 21 seconds until this zone closes.
Just spotted him. Giuseppe will get
There
taken
he
out.
goes.
And now we've got two teams. Cambria, which have collected every single kill in this lobby. It feels, can they convert into a victory? They need the double points. They need to get it. And Faded is fighting. They're spraying. They're praying. But Owen will fall. Faded lower and lower. Can Faded stay alive? But no. Actually going to reposition at the very last moment. And it's going to be Kyle securing the final victory in this grand final for Cambria A.
Cambria with one of the best games we've seen in the entire 8 weeks of this league. Where would it leave them on the leaderboard? They might not be able to overtake HSDC, but they're going to be so happy with that. A game that was most important, where the points were doubled. They've accrued so many kills. I saw 8 kills, 8 assists on one player there at the end. So they might have really done a lot. I said it would be very, very hard to get more than 50 points, even with double, but I think Cambria are somewhere around that area right now, in the ballpark of 50.
I'm on my toes. I mean, I'm sitting on the chair, but I'm with my toes up in the air because Cambria might have done the unthinkable. Bigfoot HSDC Storm finally finishing outside of the top 5 in this grand final in 6th, which was still a very good placement, but so many kills for Cambria. I don't remember how far down the leaderboard they were, but we are being informed that the team A8, which is Cambria, they got 66 points that that last game. 21 kills, Bigfoot. And I think that's just short of the top. I believe we had a 23 kill game in the group stages, if I remember correctly. But despite that, that was a group stage game. This is the grand final. This is unthinkable.
Yeah, they really turned it up, and that was the game out of the entire league where turning it up was most required, and Cambria A absolutely dominated.
I've got some info for you, Bigfoot.
Give me the info.
They were in second place last game, the team with 12 kills. So they were in second position, if I remember correctly. Cambria A might have done it on the back of 2 games. 2 games, 33 kills, a second place and a first place. I've not had this yet confirmed, Bigfoot, but the HSDC Storm Apex might have been punished for a single game outside of the top 5.
Diamonds are made under pressure, mate, and Cambria A might be the diamonds that we're talking about, but of course we really don't know the exact numbers until the scoreboard is showing, so just give us a few more moments. In 3, 2, 1. Who has come out on top? And it is Cambria A with 129 points. Oh my god, the domination with the double points final. Whose idea was the double points? Because I think you've made 3 new enemies with HSDC Storm.
Unbelievable. And I'm gonna be completely real with you, Bigfoot. I would like to see the standings if that was a not double point game, because I think even with the double points, without the double points, Cambria A might have still been able to take that one.
But bro, if it wasn't double points, there might not have been as much pressure, and Cambria A might not have turned up as much. So if there happens to be any talent scouts in this stream right now, I want you to find out Cambria A's Twitters and get them signed, because that is a phenomenal performance that shows so much potential moving forward in their esports careers.
And they are now officially crowned as the Student Champ Cup's Apex Legends winners. Cambria A coming in 8th during the group stage, and 2 back-to-back games in a grand final week to take it all by surprise. The podium will be completed by HSDC Storm Apex, the kings of consistency. And last but not least, the bronze medal goes to Guild Gen Z, which surprisingly, Bigfoot, didn't win the tournament.
I mean, yeah, they had so many good games, some of the best games we've seen, but also some of the worst games we've seen for a squad of that caliber. So they will not quite make it to the top, but they're going to be happy with that bronze medal. For how many teams enter this entire league, and 20 teams entering into this final, that is still a very, very good position to finish up. And they've got more experience coming towards them. They're competing in ALGS challenges, etc. And hopefully some of these other top squads players will also be competing in a professional level as soon as possible.
Yeah, I just want to give a huge shout out to all the teams. I'm going to quickly run through them, of course, not just the top three. We had the Confetti Arrows, who put on a hell of a show for the reminder 4 group stage weeks that we had in the end, finishing in 10th place. The BD Bears, the Coventry Crosshairs A, Hull Razors A, CC Warriors, Cambria A, CCSW Sandstorm, the Loughborough Lycans, GCS Owls, Derby Diamonds, Cobra Speeders B, A, the CRC Inferno, TCS Esports, the Wolfpack Orange, UCB Apex A, and the Celts, of course, all 20 teams, and some exceptional feats of Apex Legends that we had from all of these squads over the last 8 weeks. And it was a pleasure for me to be alongside you here for all of this action, Bigfoot.
Yeah, you too, mate. This has been one of my favourite esports experiences so far. It's so nice to be with something from the start to the finish and really get to know these teams and these players. And I hope that we come back, and I hope a lot of these players come back into the next league, because we'll have so much to talk about moving forward. You know, some of these squads might have lost or gained 1 or 2 players. We'll know which players and which teams we really want to keep an eye out on. And yeah, let's just hope the British esports can keep this phenomenal league going moving forward. It's been really, really good. And we thank everyone for the support. We've had quite a lot of people tuning into the stream, a lot of action on Twitter and stuff. And I think we can really see that this is a good thing for grassroots esports.
Absolutely. Everybody, please feel free to give Bigfoot a follow right under his name. You can see his tag. He was phenomenal throughout all of the 8 weeks of action of Apex Legends. As for us, well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. We now know who the champions are for the inaugural Apex Legends Student Champs Cup organized by British Esports. I was Waxen. It was my pleasure to be here with you. Big shout out to all the teams, all the colleges, and everybody at British Esports behind the scenes. And we're gonna let you just bask in the glory of Cambria